Hey everybody, back today again with another video. This is a different video for us. Usually Sam and I are doing classic albums, but today we're here with our friend Adam of What the Gym. Great,
Hello.
great channel. Glad to have him. This has been in the planning stage for a couple of months, and between vacations and various illnesses, well, all three of us, we're finally getting around to it. It was planned for Paul McCartney's 80th birthday, which was back in June, I believe. Yep. And here we are in mid-August, finally getting together. And Adam had the idea, and it was, we're going to do 10 McCartney related songs, 3 while he was with the Beatles, 3 with Wings, 3 solo, and then 1 bonus that we can have a sort of a wild card and put whatever we want as the 10th album. So this is our 10th song. This is a great idea. Sam and I were anxious to do it. We've been looking forward to it. And we finally got a good schedule where all 3 of us could make it. So welcome, guys. Let's start with Adam. Thanks a lot, Adam, for coming on. Great idea.
Thank you.
Anxious to do this, and I'm dying to know what's on your list as well as Sam's. We'll get around to that. So
I'm excited to find out.
Great to be here with you. Please subscribe to Adam at What the Gym. The link will be below. He just hit 200 subscribers contest, so he's at 203, but we want more out of that. So continue to subscribe to his channel, enter his contest, make the video a space-related theme. He'll really appreciate that. Of course, Sam St. John, I've done many videos together, and just another chance to get together and talk music. Subscribe to Sam as well. He recently went over 500 subscribers, and of course, he's in the notorious band, the Cosmic Torpedoes, with Glenn Kellaway. We always look forward to those wonderful reunions and the music they put out. So, gentlemen, here we go. Let's dive right into this. Why not? And we're going to go in the order of Adam, Sam, and myself. First, we're going to tackle our 3 favorite Beatles songs led by Mr. McCartney. So, Adam, what are your 3? You can talk about whatever you want while we go.
Right. So my number 3 is Let It Be, from, of course, the Let It Be album, which came out in May of 1970, and it was also a single in March of that year as well. Right. It's a really amazing song. It's one of the most iconic songs ever, I'd say. And the instrumentation on it is absolutely incredible. In both versions. I love Billy Preston's organ playing, and George Harrison's guitar solo in the album version. It's in my opinion the best guitar solo I've ever heard. It's absolutely brilliant. It's my favorite part of the Let It Be song. But I also love Paul McCartney's vocals on it. He does a really powerful and emotional performance with that song. And I know the chorus is quite simple, but it's still very powerful at the same time. And I've got some of the lyrics for it here. I've gone with, and when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Beautiful. It's really brilliant line, that. So that's my number 3, is Let It Be. And my number 2 is from my favorite album of all time, not just the Beatles, and that's Abbey Road, which came out in September of 1969, exactly 1 year before my mum's birthday. I absolutely loved Golden Summers. I think if it was longer, it'd be my favorite Beatles song, and Paul McCartney song. But I absolutely love Golden Slumbers. I love the vocal deliverance by Paul McCartney. It's probably the best vocals I've ever heard in any song. It's absolutely brilliant, and I think he took some of the song from an actual song, I think, called Golden Slumbers. I think it was. And I've got some lyrics here, which is Golden Slumbers, fill your eyes, smiles awake you when you rise, sleep pretty darling, do not cry, and I'll sing a lullaby. Brilliant line there. It's just a brilliant song. I love the orchestration in this one, and in Let It Be as well. Absolutely. I'm not sure who did the orchestration Let It Be. Was it George Martin, or was it Phil?
That would have been Phil Spector.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I just absolutely love both of these songs. I just prefer Golden Slumbers more, but I wish it was longer. It's only 1 minute and 31 seconds. whereas Let It Be is 4 minutes and 3.
Right.
And my number one is from the Beatles' Help album, which came out of August of 1965, and it's the song Yesterday. That's my favorite Paul McCartney Beatles song. I absolutely love Yesterday. There's not a huge amount to say about it because it's just such a fantastic song. I love the orchestration in this one and Paul McCartney's lyrics. I really love the bridge part of the song. It's one of my favorite bridges in any song, in my opinion. And I've got some more lyrics here for a song that's 2 minutes and 5 seconds. It really does go around quick, that length.
Yeah.
I sort of wish that maybe it was a bit longer at times as well. But the lyric I went with is, suddenly I'm not the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why'd you have to go? I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. It's just an absolutely brilliant song. And in my opinion, it's the best Paul McCartney Beatles song.
Very good.
There we go, yeah.
I like all three of your choices. Of course,
Thank you.
Golden Slumbers, part of that medley on side 2.
Yeah.
That's why it's short, because they give you these little mishmashes, but it's beautifully done. Great arrangement. Let It Be, you'll never get an argument from me on that, and that may or may not show up on my list at some point. So great job getting us off to the good start. What do you have, Sam?
To echo, because Adam kind of mentioned it, Golden Slumbers. The story that I've heard is that Paul was in playing piano. I can't remember if he was at a guest's house or something, and that's an old lullaby. Golden Slumbers is a lullaby, and Paul didn't read music, and so he saw the lyrics and was just kind of making his own music with the lyrics.
Exactly.
And which is funny because it's credited as Lennon McCartney, but there's no, probably because it's public domain and they didn't have to worry about giving a songwriter credit to the arrangement. But anyway, I know Adam reached out to me when I saw McCartney in May to try to get a film of the Golden Slumbers tune, and I ended up getting the whole medley. So yeah, that undoubtedly the greatest ending of any album of all time, and the rock era anyway. For me, so I kind of want a slightly different route in terms of which Beatles songs I picked. They're not necessarily, I mean, they're definitely my top 10 favorite McCartney songs of all time. I was trying to go with things that maybe weren't as obvious. So like songs like Hey Jude, possibly McCartney's greatest Beatles song. That's not on my list. That's not saying I don't have other hits coming later down the road, but I went with songs that they really stand out to me, and they were just ones in particular that blew me away. I remember the first time I heard them. So I'm going to go in chronological order.
All right.
The first from the Hard Day's Night album, And I Love Her, which is I mean, Yesterday gets all the praise, as it should. I mean, it's been covered by everybody. I think Yesterday was the first Beatles song that didn't have another Beatle on it. It was the sign of the Beatles moving in a different direction that wasn't just, about lovey-dovey, songs like that were going around at the time. But And I Love Her, really, really beautiful song with the classical guitar played by George Harrison. And from what I understand, that was done in one take. Paul has said that before. They just gave George a nylon string guitar and said, here, we need a classical guitar solo. And so George, I'm sure he played around with a few solos during different takes, but that, whatever take that was, there was no overdub on that. That was it, what he did. I play it sometimes on my nylon string guitar. I don't play that guitar very much, but I do have a nylon string. And it was one of the first finger pick songs that I learned, I remember. And just a beautiful vocal, the whole "A Love Like Ours Could Never Die as Long as I Have You Near Me." And I want to say, and I think this is true, when we ranked Hard Day's Night, that was my number one song on the album. It's just it's a gorgeous song. I wish he would do it more. He doesn't do it that much anymore. He's always, he's stuck with doing Yesterday, Blackbird in terms of like his acoustic songs, but I wish he would throw that one in again because it's so beautiful. So that's song number one. for the Beatles era. Song number 2, let's fast forward 5 years to 1969 to Abbey Road. The song that I'm choosing is Oh Darling, which is my favorite individual track on Abbey Road. I remember the first time I heard the song, I was absolutely floored by McCartney's vocals on it. I know he had done dozens of takes on it. His voice was ragged, and it was one of those later takes that they ended up using as the master. And you can hear it in his voice. If you have the Abbey Road box set that came out in 2019, you can hear the different takes, and the soul is there, but it's not like this take. And I remember this was the first full-length Beatles album, studio album that I owned. And I remember hearing that song, and that was a deeper cut for me because I was just used to the greatest hits collections, whatever we had in our house, the Beatles one, whatever we had. And hearing Oh Darling, I was like, wow, he can do a lot with his voice. It's not just, the softness of Yesterday or Let It Be, or, like the throaty voicing, like Get Back or something like that. So just really a rockin' R&B track, not the deepest lyrics, but vocally it's a top-notch performance by Paul. And there's probably a reason he doesn't do that one much, because it just rips up his voice. And then my number 3 song, not in any order, but number 3 chronologically, based on album releases, is from Let It Be, and it's the song I've Got a Feeling. Of course, it's a duet with John Lennon, but it's predominantly a Paul McCartney song. John Lennon just kind of comes in with the middle 8. Of course, everybody knows the story that follows the Beatles. It was 2 songs. They put them together, did some working with the melody to make it work, and then they came out with that wonderful song, which, of course, seeing Paul recently, he was duetting with John Lennon on the big screen with this song, and it really gave it a second life to me. I've always loved this song, and I remember hearing it, just thinking it was so rocking when I was a younger kid. And it's just one of those songs that they don't play it on the radio, so it's not oversaturated. I'm not sure how high it charted, if it ever charted. I'm not sure if it was. I don't think it was released as a single.
I don't think so.
Just a great song. One of those last instances of a true Lennon-McCartney collaboration. And again, another great vocal by Paul. The whole, all these years I've been wandering around, and then he jumps ahead to looking for somebody that looked like you, and then he gets that, look like you, and then George comes in, or John comes in with a meow, 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 kind of like that acid sounding guitar. But yeah, I've Got a Feeling, possibly, don't quote me, possibly my favorite Beatles song.
Quite possibly.
Actually, it's my favorite Beatles song.
There you go.
Wow.
There we go.
That's a bold statement, young man. But
it is. There's a lot of, there's about 20 of them that are my favorite, but that if I was being thrown off a cliff and I had to answer, that's what I would answer.
Yeah.
The one that made my short list and almost got on was And I Love Her. I think it's a beautiful song. You mentioned about the guitar playing, do 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 do, just the whole mood of it, fantastic. But it got eked out by something else. I'm going to do mine chronologically as well.
All right.
And are they my 3 favorites? Today they are, from Paul anyway. I like a lot of George stuff. I like a lot of John stuff. But these are the 3 that I'm going to focus on today. My first one goes back to the early days with the Beatles album, All My Loving. My favorite early Beatles song from the Ed Sullivan days and the Mop Tops. And it's just such a positive, timeless song. It's got the sing-along quality. It's melodic. Everything I want in an early Beatles song. It's happy. Takes me back to a more innocent time in our history, frankly, before the Vietnam War and before Watergate, before the violence that you see today with school shootings and all the hate crimes and everything that's nasty in American society. This is the early days of black and white TV, before we got too sophisticated for our own good. We didn't even lock our doors at night. It was a happier time. Yeah. I love this song, All My Loving. And the melodic thing, Close Your Eyes, and that beginning, just the whole thing. And that whole remember, the melodic, the way he phrases stuff. It's fantastic. My second track is from the Help album, and that's I've Just Seen a Face.
Oh, good choice.
Just
Yeah,
a
definitely.
wonderfully energetic song. I like the structure of this. It's got the beginning, the middle, and end, which I appreciate from the songwriter. Terrific intro. It's sort of folk rocky in a way, a little country twinge, pop, of course, and then the melodic thing, and then fallen, yes, I am fallen, and she keeps calling me back again, and it's got that solo, do 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 do. I love that part of it, and it gives you that sense of feeling infatuated with somebody for the first time. That I've just seen her face and I can't forget, and you can hear that in the music, and you can hear it in the voice of Paul. It's an awesome song. My third track's a little more dark and serious, and that's off Revolver, and that's Eleanor Rigby. Just a beautifully written song about loneliness, isolation, death, real dark material. Paul says he never wrote it about a specific person, and yet he walked this particular cemetery or graveyard, and there is a woman buried there named Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah.
Truthfully, so it must have been in his subconscious where he had it filed away and just threw it out, whatever. And she was a spinster in his lyrics, and I like the detail in the lyric where she wears a face that she keeps by the jar in the door. Who is it for?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, and it's very precise, very detailed. It's another short song. It goes by in a minute. It seems like a minute.
Yeah.
And then you got the chorus, all the lonely people, where do they all come from? Beautiful song, one of my favorites. And believe it or not, I picked 3 songs and none of them are on my favorite album, which is Rubber Soul. I sort of glossed over that one, but these are the 3 I singled out today.
Yeah.
Very cool. So now we're going to go into Wings. Adam, lead us off with your 3 Wings tunes.
Well, I've got a couple of things to say first. I really love the song choices you both went with. It's a great choice for your favorite Beatles song there, Sam.
Yeah. I it's one of those that I think about my favorite Beatles songs all the time, because that's a common question, and especially on YouTube, or if you have any musical friends, what's your favorite Beatles song?
Yeah.
It's one of those that nobody can answer, or nobody is brave enough to answer, because Beatles people they'll pounce.
One thing I noticed, we did 3 songs each, 9 songs, and no repeats. We all picked 3 different ones. So that tells you a lot about Paul's strength as a songwriter and artist.
And they go from the genres. I mean, I've Just Seen a Face. That's a country song. Oh,
Right.
Darling's R&B. Yesterday is like Baroque pop. So the genres are just, they're everywhere.
All over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. I've got a couple of things to mention about Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah.
It's my dad's all-time favorite Beatles song.
Very cool. Nice.
Yeah, I love Eleanor Rigby, and I've been to Eleanor Rigby's grave.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, in Liverpool.
Wow.
That was
awesome.
really amazing. So we'll get to it with my Wings ones now. So my number 3 for Wings, I've gone with Mull of Kintyre, which never came out on the studio album, and it was a single in November of 1977. And it's a really, really amazing song. It's very anthemic, and it's a sort of song that you can sing on New Year's Eve before the next New Year. And it's just a really, really amazing song. It's 4 minutes and 46 seconds. I kind of think maybe it could be 20 seconds shorter. I feel that it does drag a little bit towards the end, but I love the whole instrumentation in this song, and the bagpipes are absolutely brilliant. Yeah. And for the lyric I went with, "For I travelled and much have I seen, dark distant mountains and valley oaks of green, post painted deserts, the sun sets on fire as he carries me home to the Mull of Kintyre."
Yep.
And it gets to the really catchy chorus, I think, then. But that's my number 3. It's an absolutely amazing song that I've only heard a few times. I need to listen to it a few more times, I think. But that's my number 3. My number 2, I've gone with the classic Band on the Run, from, of course, Band on the Run. which came out in November of 73. And it was also a single in the year after, in 74. And it's 5 minutes and 13 seconds, but it really, really flies by in the song. And it's sort of like a medley as well. You've got like 3 songs in one here.
Yeah.
It starts very, very mellow and very relaxing, and then it ends being a complete rocker at the end. And I've gone one of the verses here, which is, while the Undertaker drew a heavy sigh, seeing no one else had come, and the bell was ringing in the village square for the rabbits on the run. And then it goes to the really catchy chorus of "Band on the Run." Yeah,
Love it.
really song, that one. And my number one is kind of a deeper cut, really, and it's from, I think, a very underrated album, and that's London Town, which came out of March 1978, and it's a 2 minute and 43 second song, and it's called "I'm Carrying." I'll start off with the lyrics for this one. So, our long time no see, baby, sure has been a while, and if my reappearance lacks a sense of style, I'm carrying something for you. And it's just, there's not a whole lot of lyrics of this one, but it gets me every single time. I absolutely love the instrumentation of this one and Paul's vocals. In my opinion, it's a very forgotten Wings song, and it's my favorite Wings song.
Wow, good choice.
Very good. I like that. Well, we're going to have one match. I don't know about what Sam's got in store for us, but I have one that's going to sound familiar. What do you got?
Yeah,
Sam?
if you'd have asked me probably 15, maybe 10 years ago, I would have probably put Mulligan Tire on my list, just because it's one of those easy songs to play. It's in the key of A on the guitar, and it's a great video too. He's out on his farm in Scotland, and you have the pipers coming, on the beach and playing. And if I'm not mistaken, Adam, you can correct me, being the local, was that not, or is that not the highest? Well, for a long time, the highest the highest single in the UK.
I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was like years before that thing was beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song. I love the acoustic. I love it's very British, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, again, kind of the same line, although I do have a big hit on this list in particular. Probably the biggest hit out of any of the songs that I've picked. And so the first that I'm going to go with is from this album that Adam just mentioned. It's the song Jet. And
Jet.
Possibly my favorite Wings song. I won't say that for sure, with certainty, because I'm not as familiar with Wings canon. Just a great song. It's that 1-2 punch. Adam's finished listening to Band on the Run, and then boom, Jet comes on right after that.
Yeah, straight after.
Just a great 1-2 punch for an album. I mean, good grief. Paul is at the height of his 70s career here with Band on the Run. I mean, it's a masterpiece of an album. Obviously, I mean, Rich and I talked about it in a separate video.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed that Paul didn't do it live when I saw him. He ended up bringing it back, I think, in the last gig. I think he played it at a Glastonbury. The last
he did.
The last show of his tour. I saw some great songs. I've seen Paul twice. Neither time he's done this song, which is really unfortunate. But just those horns are just fantastic. That bam, 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 bam. And the song kind of takes its time to get started. You got that guitar bend at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you have the drums just come in, the doom, 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 Jet. And it's nonsensical lyrics. It doesn't make any sense, but it's a rocking track. Paul's voice is fantastic. I love to hear it live. Live versions are so much better than the studio version. It was made for the arenas. So that's number one. I could go on about it, but that's number one.
Awesome.
Number two is kind of a cheat because I'm incorporating 2 songs, but it makes sense. And it's from Venus and Mars, and it's the opening track, Venus and Mars, right into Rock Show. Because in my opinion, they're one song. The song Venus and Mars is just this little like minute interlude, like starting into the album. You know, his voice is lowered. He's setting the stage of a rock show, essentially. You know, sitting in the stands of the sports arena, waiting for the show to begin.
Yeah.
You know, a good friend of mine follows the stars. Venus and Mars are all right tonight. It's like somebody that studies the stars is saying, you know, the stars look good tonight. It's going to be a good show. It's not my thing, but I mean, the song makes sense for what it is. And then you break into that, and then what's that man holding in his hand?
Yeah, great.
He references a ton of historical figures in the rock and roll world. He mentions Jimmy Page. He mentions the Hollywood Bowl, Madison Square. So just again, one of those classic Paul setting the stage for an album. And I mean, he's done this right up till McCartney 3. He did it with Egypt Station, with like the opening tracks that he did for that. He did it with that intro to McCartney 3, almost fully instrumental. Just Paul McCartney, he knows how to start and end an album. I mean, even his worst albums, he can start and finish an album. I mean, he looks at it as an art form. So Venus and Mars rock show, that's number 2 for me. And then number 3 is the deepest cut on any of my listings here. It was the B-side to the song Junior's Farm. And it's, again, from these sessions, the song Sally G. And I mean, a pure straight ahead country song. I mean, it's fantastic. He recorded it in Nashville the same time that he recorded Junior's Farm. But he's got some of the old guys playing on it. He's got Vassar Clements on it, who's an old bluegrass guy. He's got Johnny Gimbel and Bob Wills from Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys are on this song. Just a fantastic song. And then he's got Wings playing, you know, background on it as well. But definitely Paul embracing visiting Nashville and, you know, enjoying that time when Wings was touring. Like lyrics like, you know, they call her Sally G. Why'd you have to do the things you do to me? And it's just one of those great moments where Paul can just bend any genre. If you don't know the song Sally G, check it out. It's fantastic. I love it. I never knew it existed until earlier this year. And it's a country hit that never was. So that's number 3, Sally G.
Awesome.
Yeah,
we're all in the same neck of the woods. I have a match with Adam and a couple of the same albums here with Sam. So my first one is Band on the Run, the title track, which Adam had. Great medley that McCartney's famous for, where he can blend several songs, sometimes 2 songs into, well, this time it's 3. It hit number 1 in the US, Grammy Award winner. You know, he starts out with that Stuck Inside These Four Walls. It's real melodic and so forth. And then it jumps, and the rain exploded with a mighty crash, fell into the sun. And then at the end, If I Ever Get Out of Here, Gonna Give It All Away. Just a classic McCartney tune. Love everything about it. That album is very, very good. We ranked it on our classic album series, and I had forgotten how great the rest of the album was. But, you know, the song Jet is fantastic, and everything after that as well.
It kicked off our series.
That kicked off our series. Some deep cuts. It's really, really strong. My next tune is from Venus and Mars, and that is Listen to What the Man Said. More sort of an optimistic kind of love will conquer all song, catchy, melodic, and it's soft rock or soft pop. Very radio friendly. You got Tom Scott, sax, Dave Mason from the Traffic fame is on this record as well. So a good tune, and I like your choice of rock show too, though I have to admit that was a good one. And my third one, you mentioned the B-side. I'm going with the A-side, Junior's Farm, number 3 single in the US. There's really no deep meaning on this. Recorded in Nashville, but it's a great rock song. That Jimmy McCulloch, part of the band at that time, that's the guitar solo in his Wings debut, and he really nails it. He died at age 26 from a drug overdose. He was only in the band for a short time.
Mhm.
But I just love when he says something about, what does he say? He uses hit it, Jimmy, and then he goes into
Hit it, Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah.
right in the beginning of the solo there, and it's catchy as heck. So it's gonna make my top three of the Wings era. Sure.
Very nice.
Yep. Any comments before we dive into the solo? It was nice to finally get a match, Adam, with Band on the Run, huh?
Yeah. I've
Well,
got a confession to make.
Yeah.
I've never heard the Venus and Mars album.
Oh, you got to hear it. You'll love it.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I'll go listen to that soon then.
Yeah. With the Sally G, this is the archive edition. It's the 2-disc CD. But I mean, you have stuff like listen to what the man said. Great. If you love the syrupy kind of schmaltzy Paul McCartney, I mean, you'll have songs like You Gave Me the Answer, which is, if you like When I'm 64, you'll like that song. It's that same kind of like vaudeville 1920s style. Magneto and Titanium Man, it's about two comic book characters, kind of sci-fi. And then they have, Jimmy McCullough sings Medicine Jar. That's a cool song. So it's one of the first like band effort songs. I mean, albums that have several of the band members taking lead vocals. But yeah, but for me, you're mentioning Band on the Run, and I've mentioned this in my McCartney video, my review. Band on the Run was like that song during the show that just like got to me when I was looking at Paul and thinking, here he is, almost 80 at the time. He's 80 now, but just thinking like he's not going to be singing this song much longer. And so just with like that whole, When the Rain Exploded,
Yeah.
I mean, it got me. It really did.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Adam, that's priority, my friend.
Check that one out. That's right in his
I will.
prime, really, with Wings.
Yeah.
All right, Beatles solo.
Here we go. Shall I start them?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. So my number 3 is Calico Skies from Flaming Pie, which came out of May 1997. It was 25 years this year. Can't believe that.
I know.
And the song's only 2 minutes and 31 seconds, but they really do pack in a lot for this acoustic number. It's an absolutely brilliant and beautiful song that I've only heard a couple of times because I've recently just listened to Flaming Pie. I did a live stream reaction to it. And one of the lyrics I've gone with here is, it was written, I would love you from the moment I opened my eyes. And the morning when I first saw you gave me life under calico skies. And some brilliant lyrics in that song. And it's a brilliant campfire song as well.
Yep.
I can imagine listening to it camping. The second one I've gone with is Maybe I'm Amazed from McCartney 1, which came out in April 1970. And the song is 3 minutes and 49 seconds. But it's absolutely incredible. The instrumentation on this is absolutely amazing. And Paul's vocals are some of the best they've ever been in this song. And the lyrics are really impactful as well. I've got quite a lot of lyrics mentioned here, which is maybe I'm amazed at the way you love me all the time. Maybe I'm afraid of the way I love you. Maybe I'm amazed at the way you pulled me out of time, hung me on the line. Maybe I'm amazed at the way I really need you. And then it goes to the chorus, which is maybe I'm a man, maybe I'm a lonely man. He's in the middle of something that he really doesn't understand. Maybe I'm a man and maybe you're the only one who could ever help me. Baby, what you help me understand. Brilliant lyrics there. It's a fantastic song. It's one of my favorite Paul McCartney songs.
Yeah.
And my number one's another deeper cut, and it's from McCartney 2, which came out in 1980. And that's the song that's 3 minutes and 38 seconds. And that's One of These Days, which concludes the album. And when I first heard McCartney 2, I was really blown away with it. I thought it was a very underrated album. But the more I listen to it, the less I like it, unfortunately. But I still really enjoy the album. And the lyric I've gone with is, it's there, it's around, it's to be found. By you, by me, it's all you've wanted to be. And then it goes, one of these days when my feet are on the ground, I'm going to look around and see what's right and see what's there, and breathe fresh air ever after. That part was always got to me in the song, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. There's not a lot of instrumentation going on, but all really needs Paul's vocals, and you've already got a masterpiece pretty much. So yeah, they're the songs I've gone with for Paul McCartney solo.
Excellent. Good choices.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Yeah, we have one match, Adam, and it shall remain a mystery until it appears.
Already guessed
me,
which one that is.
You're gonna
I can probably
guess?
guess that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it maybe I'm amazed? I'm gonna guess that one.
It is not. Rich.
That would be probably more pointed towards me, but go ahead, Sam.
Yeah. No,
I
for me,
think
I'm gonna start with that album though. I'm gonna start with McCartney 1. The song "Junk" is gonna be my first
brilliant.
song.
Nice.
Absolutely love this song. It's my favorite song on this album by far. And again, we've done this one as well on our series. Just a beautiful song. Just I don't know. It's very simple. Just talking about stuff piling up at a yard sale essentially, or at a junk heap. Motor cars, handlebars, bicycles for two. But just a beautiful vocal from Paul. That there's a beautiful cover of it by John Denver that I've mentioned in several videos before as well. That is equally as good. Of course, John Denver loved the Beatles, and so he covers a lot of Beatles and solo Beatles stuff in his albums. But a short song, it's under 2 minutes. Incredibly difficult to play on guitar. I know Adam mentioned Calico Skies. That McCartney had a way of playing acoustic guitar that sounded really easy. And Beatles songs sound easy. You would think, like, oh, you should learn Beatles songs before you learn anything on guitar. No, I still don't know more than just a couple of Beatles songs. They're just so difficult. They use some of the craziest chords and finger positions. But yeah, number one on my list is Junk from the debut by McCartney.
Awesome choice.
Number 2 is I'm going to move to Ram, which is behind Adam there. Is the song Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey. Just again, fantastic song. It's that classic McCartney style with, like almost like a mini suite in a song. Yep. Like 10 different, it's the first part, the we're so sorry, Uncle Albert part, very slow, and then with Linda kind of singing this like haunting background vocal, this yeah, and then you break into like this like marching band, like the do 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 do, and then the Admiral Halsey Notified Me part, and he's kind of got this little carnival type voice that he's doing, which again McCartney can do anything with his voice. And then it breaks into the more rocking, Hands Across the Water part, and then it breaks back into the the do 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 do. He just knows how to take pieces of music that don't make sense and put them together and make a melodic and a hit. I mean, that song is still played on oldies stations.
Yeah.
So yeah, from the Ram album, which is the only album credited to Paul and Linda McCartney, is number 2, and then the match with Adam from Flaming Pie, Calico Skies. Absolutely love that track. I first heard the track on the Good Evening New York City Paul McCartney live DVD that he did in 2009 at Citi Field in New York. He opened Citi Field after Shea Stadium was torn down, and just again one of those beautiful acoustic numbers that it could have been a White Album track. I mean, you can definitely hear that same kind of style that he does with Blackbird, kind of an interesting tuning. Just the guitar in itself would have just been a beautiful song and beautiful instrumental. And of course, this album was written. It was the last album released during Linda McCartney's life, and so I don't know if there was some extra sentiment with her. Obviously, I mean, Jeff Lynne is all over this album too, because they had just finished the anthology compilations a couple of years prior. So Paul was really in a creative, a second creative, well, probably a third creative peak, I would say, because I mean, he was pulling in George Harrison and Ringo are on this album, on the track or two. Jeff Lynne's all over it. Again, just a really, really, really beautiful acoustic ballad by Paul. I mean, not much more to say. So that's Calico's. And George Harrison is not on this album. I said he was. He's not. Steve Miller is on this album.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, Calico's guys.
Nice match by both you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my three, and I have a match with each of you. My first one is Maybe I'm Amazed. Adam covered that very well. Happens to be my wife's favorite song of all time, so I couldn't leave it off or pay the price later. Wonderful love song. Adam had the lyrics, and I just love everything about it. He plays every instrument here. He's playing guitar, bass, piano, and drums. So it just shows off his skills and talent. And he has such the effortless gift for melodic tunes. It's just part of who he is. My second one is a single. It is a number 5 single, Another Day. Catchy pop song. I love this song.
Good song.
It is. It's got that routine of going through a relationship, settling in, every day she takes a morning, just that whole thing with getting ready for the day. And most of us can relate to that feeling. And again, it's fantastic. I remember it being a big hit single when I was a teenager. I think I bought the 45 as well. And great song. I'm surprised it wasn't on Ram for some reason, because it came around the same time.
Yeah.
It's
a single.
71, but
Yeah.
they released it as a single. Maybe or maybe not, it wouldn't fit into the album, but I think it would have, but you never know.
Yep.
And my match with Sam is Uncle Albert Admiral Halsey from Ram, number 1 hit. And, you described it perfectly, where he's got these little, the mini suite, as you called it, which is accurate. And I like the British accent he does too. We're so sorry, but we haven't done a bloody thing all day. I love that.
All day.
I like that. The playful lyrics too. Hands across the water, heads across the sky. It's patched together very much like Abbey Road, the second side, where you got these little fragments of cool tunes, and then he speeds it up a bit and goes, live a little, be a gypsy, get around, get your feet up off the ground, live a little, get around, and he talks about put the butter in the pie, and then it gets into the
butter wouldn't melt, so I put it in a pie.
Right.
What does that mean?
A lot of fun stuff, nonsensical in a way, but it works in the context of the song. So that was probably the first one I picked of the solo stuff. Even though Linda's on it, I consider it solo because it's not Wings.
Yeah.
And it's not Beatles. So, well, we each going to get to pick a bonus track from any of the 3 categories, and it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. Something we couldn't leave off our list. So, Adam, what do you have?
Well, before I get to it, there's a couple more things I want to say again.
Yeah,
I should have known it was Calico Skies for you, Sal, because I know how much you like your acoustic numbers.
Yeah.
Fantastic song that is. I was very tempted to put Uncle Albert and Admiral Halsey in. It's so catchy as well.
it is.
With the chorus, just the whole song is really, really amazing. But the bonus song or the wild card song, I've gone with a Paul McCartney solo song, but it's also credited to Linda McCartney as well, and that's from the Ram album, and that's the song that concludes the album, and that's The Backseat of My Car,
Okay.
which came out in May of 1972 on the album. It was also a single in August of 71.
There it is.
Yep, there it is. It's 4 minutes and 30 seconds, but it's a real epic song. Definitely, that's one word to describe it would be epic or grand. It's just an absolutely incredible song. And then Eleanor does a great job at doing backing vocals here as well. I mean, she always does. She's always brilliant at doing her singing with Paul. That a really good, great duo together.
Absolutely.
And it's a really, really incredible song, and I want to listen to it in the backseat of my car.
Yep.
It's cool. I think I might have done that once. I'm not sure, but the lyrics have gone with is we can make it to Mexico City, sitting in the backseat of my car, and then it goes, oh, we believe that we can't be wrong. Oh, we believe that we can't be wrong, and it repeats it for about 7 times in total. But it's really, really catchy. That part. We believe that we can't be wrong. Yeah, it keeps doing that about 7 times. But that's the wild card song I've gone with, is the backseat of my car from Ram.
Very nice. I thought you were going to take a Beatles song, but it's your
I
list.
decided to mix things up.
Yeah, good move. How about
Thank
you,
you.
Sam? What do you have as your wild card pick here?
Well, I would say I'm mixing things up even more because mine covers not one, but 2 of the categories that we've mentioned so far. It's a McCartney song and was also a Wings song. That is from McCartney 2. Originally, it's the song Coming Up.
Coming up.
Absolutely loved the track. I didn't know that it was a solo McCartney song until much later, after I heard the original track, which again, McCartney 2, Adam mentioned it a minute ago, very experimental. It's 1980. Wings weren't officially broken up. They still had another year to go. But I mean, they didn't make another album after Back to the Egg. McCartney was, moving on with his own thing. Him and Linda could do no wrong. So he took the methods that he went with 10 years prior with McCartney, did his own album, produced it, all that good stuff. And the opening track is the song Coming Up, which is a very funky track.
It is.
But with the album version, it's kind of tinny the way that his voice is. It's off the mic a little bit. But then you hear the hit version of the song from 1981, which is a live version by Wings. His voice, to me, that's his vocal peak. From like 1976 with like Wings Over America up until about 81, McCartney's voice was at peak form. I mean, he had that rasp, he had that rock voice. And with the band doing it, you can really hear that bass and how fantastic the bass was on this track. He's just, you want a love that lasts forever, one that will never fade away. I'd like to help you with your problems. Stick around, I'll say, and then everybody coming up, and then doom, doom. Doom. It's Paul at his most melodic. It's amazing how many hits this guy has, and I mean, 1980. I mean, he'd already been around. He's at this point, he's been in the public eye for going on close to 20 years. And who would have thought he would have another 40 years ahead of him, making more music and more catchy hooks. So I'm taking 2 categories, Wings and McCartney, and doing Coming Up.
Cool.
Nice. Well, there's probably no secret of what I'm going to pick. I'm going to go with Let It Be, the Beatles. Arguably one of their best songs. For me, it's Paul's greatest moment. I just like the way he sums up, in more ways than one, the end of the Beatles, Let It Be. And the George solo, which Adam referred to as classic. Billy Preston adds a lot to it as well. I love the song. And about his mom coming to him in a dream.
Yep.
He had lost his mother when he was a young person, and he had this vision, and he creates this wonderful song out of it. And you can use that Let It Be as a refrain for whatever you're going through in life.
Yeah.
There will be an answer, let it be, whether you're religious or not. Spiritual song. Fantastic. And that was going to be my bonus track as soon as I knew what we were doing. I think it's great. So great stuff. I like everybody's lists. They're all wonderful.
Which version of Let It Be is it?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Which version of Let It Be is it? Is it the album or single?
This would be the album.
Yeah.
But all versions are excellent. Paul's singing them. So
I've got some. Yeah.
I go with the studio album most of the time, over any kind of live or stripped down version.
Mm-hmm. I've got one thing to say about coming up.
Yeah.
Is it one of the Sparks Brothers in the music video?
I'm sorry.
Is it one of the Sparks Brothers in the music video?
Sparks Brothers?
Yes, I believe one of them is.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Paul McCartney was dressed as him.
Yeah, he was in that video. He was dressed. Well, he was dressed with like the like that old 1930s style look. I think with like the mustache and
Yeah.
Slick back hair, because Paul, he thrived off of his father's music. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Excellent choices.
Yeah, this was a fun one. Thank you to Adam for
That's brilliant.
the idea, man. It was a
That's
great
all right.
idea, and it took us like 2.5 months to finally to conquer it. But I think we did a good job. We had a lot of different songs. Not any of us had three. We didn't have any hat tricks or any trifecta, as they say, but we were spread all over the place. And that's what it's all about. These are personal lists, personal favorites. It's good to branch out sometimes. I stick mostly to the hits because I don't know all the deep cuts that you guys do, being you're bigger McCartney fans than I am, but I love doing it. I love trading ideas and
yeah, totally
on these songs. So everybody out there, thanks for watching us. Remember, subscribe to What the Gym. That's Adam, Sam, St. John. Both these guys, fantastic. I hope to do something in the future. So we appreciate you watching. Leave some comments. Give your favorite McCartney songs in all three categories. We'd love to hear some feedback, and we'll answer your comments. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate it. Take care.
Peace and love.